Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Scaping 9 till 5 Season 3. For anyone who isn't familiar with the Scaping 9 till 5 series, I basically take different types of money making methods, do them for a single day as if they were a real 9 till 5 job, then find out what the salary would be both in game and in real life. It's worth noting that I don't really convert my RuneScape gold to real life cash. That's real world trading and it's against the rules. Just because my username is Dicerz, it doesn't mean I do dicing or any other dodgy activity in the game. I'm just a guy playing the game and making videos. So with that out of the way, it's time to go find a job.
About time!
But first, it's sponsor time. Guild of Heroes is a banging, classic fantasy RPG game that might just remind you of good old Warcraft and Diablo. It's a free game that you can find on the App Store, Google Play Store and Amazon, and in it you create your character and choose from 3 different classes: the classic, archer, wizard and warrior. But they're not set in stone, you can change them anytime during the game. You can gather or craft unique armor and weapons, then take them into either the PvE mode, the PvP arena, or even fight with them in the guild wars. My personal favourite thing to do is the aforementioned guild wars. Joining a guild unlocks more of the game where you can battle for territory against other guilds and summon cool bosses to fight with your guild mates. But that's just me. If you want, you can go solo and fight thousands of monsters, or go into the PvP arena and test your mettle against other players. So what are you waiting for? Click on the link in the video description. You can get 1,600 gold and 75 diamonds for free. Thanks Guild of Heroes for sponsoring this video. What a lovely day for a walk.
Oh, you.
Huh? Me?
Yeah, you. Get in here.
Okay. What's up?
Did you see them goblins out there?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of them.
Exactly. We need to thin them out with this cannon. We're running out of ammo.
Right, okay.
You think you can make some more cannonballs for us?
Sure, I guess.
Fantastic. You also have to train these guys to make cannonballs too.
What guys?
These guys.
Oh god. That looks like a lot of work. Don't really know if I want to do that.
Trust me, it'll be worth your while.
If you say so. Those poor goblins, what have they ever done to the dwarves? You know, except attack them on a daily basis. Those good for nothing goblins deserve it. Making cannonballs from 9 till 5, but this is a bit of a different one because I'm making cannonballs from 9 till 5 on 12 accounts. So in order to make a bunch of new accounts, I need a new email address. First name Cannon, last name Balls. It's hard to find an email address. Cannonballer1. There we go. If you want to email me, I will reply to all emails. This is a promise if you email Cannonballer1. And you may be wondering, Dicerz, how did you get all of these accounts with one email address? Well, little Christian Timmy, with Gmail, I don't know if it works with other email address services, but if you put a plus sign after your email address before the @ symbol, that counts as a unique email address when registering for things. So I can use the same email address with a bunch of plus signs after it for all of these accounts. Holy crap, this is insanely laggy, trying to do Tutorial Island on 12 accounts at once. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Old School RuneScape still works off a single core of your processor. It doesn't matter what graphics card you have, it doesn't matter how good your processor is, or I guess it does technically, but I've got 12 clients running on 1/4 of my processor. I'm going to need a new processor after this video. Luckily, this got sponsored. And finally, this is the last account to get done on Tutorial Island. It's taken me an hour to do it on 12 accounts at the same time. Now I need to get 35 smithing on 11 new accounts. Now I could do Knight Sword to 27, then make some bronze daggers for the next 8 levels or something, but doing quests with 11 clients open is going to be laggy and terrible. I could do it one at a time, but buying a bunch of bronze bars and going AFK smithing training for an hour or 2 is going to be faster than completing the Knight Sword on 11 accounts. There it is, 35 smithing to make cannonballs. Now I totally didn't get 30 smithing, then go do the dwarf cannon quest, then come back and try and make cannonballs, only to find out I needed 35, so I don't even know why you would suggest that in the first place, so let's just move on. The laggy logistics isn't something I took into consideration when coming up with this idea. Trying to trade items to these accounts was probably the most unpleasant experience in the whole 9 till 5. Actually, ignore what I just said, because fixing these fences on 11 accounts at once was the most unpleasant thing to do. It took too many hours and too many processors to get these accounts ready to make cannonballs, but we're finally there. Look at my squadron of ball makers. It's beautiful. Now we have nothing else to do but to start the clock. Initially, I didn't put much thought into how I would go about making the cannonballs on 12 accounts. I just figured, okay, on every client I'll click on the furnace, then on every client I'll click on the cannonball, then go AFK. But I realised that was pretty inefficient, because if I'd started them all at the same time, they would all finish at the same time. Then, until I got every single account back at the furnace, they would be sitting doing nothing for maybe a minute. So what I would do is stagger it into each monitor. I have monitor 1, monitor 2, and monitor 3. I would begin making the cannonballs on monitor 1, then monitor 2, then monitor 3. That way, when monitor 1 got done with the cannonballs, I could bank, then go back to the furnace and start making more cannonballs, just as monitor 2 finished making cannonballs. So then on monitor 2 I could go to the bank, then start making more cannonballs, and just as I finished doing that, monitor 3 just finished making cannonballs. Then I would bank on that monitor, then reuse the furnace, and that way there's much less downtime. When it comes to making cannonballs, there's not much else to talk about. It's pretty AFK, nothing exciting happens, which means it is time for bonus facts. Did you know that with the release of the granite cannonballs back in 2017, there are only 2 types of cannonballs you can use, the regular and the granite. However, the cannon and the dwarf from the quest Between a Rock fire adamant, runite and gold cannonballs. And in this picture you can see bronze, runite and mithril cannonballs lying on the ground. If you've used a dwarven multi-cannon, you might have noticed some inconsistencies. Sometimes the cannon doesn't fire, sometimes it does, sometimes it fires 2 balls at one enemy. This picture shows why that's the case. The tiles directly horizontal or vertical of the dwarf multi-cannon setup point are not registered, and the cannon will not fire at enemies standing on those tiles. Enemies stood on the grey tiles get hit by 1 cannonball, and enemies stood on the green tiles get hit by 2 cannonballs. And finally, on a somewhat unrelated note, I found out when editing this video that the ham logo actually spells out ham. I thought it was just a bunch of random shapes making a logo, but nope, it's actually H-A-M. Today I learned, and hopefully I wasn't the only one. Back to work. 3, 2, 1, shift is over. I will let the inventories finish, and then we will find out how much cannonballs we made on 12 accounts in 8 hours. This is the last trade, and it's going to give me 181,000 cannonballs. Now that's a lot of balls. I also traded over any remaining steel bars and leftover supplies / equipment that I made getting smithing levels. I'm going to get a very accurate cost of supplies, cost of steel bars, and tell you the actual profit. Selling 181,208 cannonballs for the price of 180 coins each resulted in 32 million GP. That's a lot of GPs. However, the cost of the steel bars used for a single day is 19 million GP for 49,500 steel bars. So the actual total profit made is 13.8 million GP for one day. That's a lot of GP for one day. So 13.8 million GP is the daily wage, which means the hourly rate is just over 1.7 million GP per hour. At the end of each week, I would have earned 69 million GP, and the monthly paycheck would look something like 304 million GP, which means the big boy, the yearly salary, is 3.6 billion GP, 3,601 mil. That's a lot of cash. But what kind of money are we looking at if this was a real life job? Well, if this were a typical Western world job where you have the average amount of days off and holidays, the hourly wage would be 86 cents per hour. The daily wage is $6.90, and after each week you've been slaving away Monday through Friday 9 till 5, you would have made a whopping $34.50. Your paycheck at the end of the month is $152, with your yearly salary being $1,800. $1,800 isn't a very good wage for working on 12 accounts for 12 months. However, it's about to get worse. Because I played on 12 accounts, I need to buy 12 accounts worth of membership. Now I usually don't take into account the cost of membership for a year because it's usually only $80 or so on one account, but when there's 12 accounts, I can't ignore it. It costs 63 UK pounds for 12 months of membership, which converts to about $78. And $78 on 12 accounts is $936. So the actual real yearly salary is only $864. That's a lot worse than the already terrible $1,800 for 12 months of work. This might be the only money-making method in the entire series that's actually really good GP per hour, but really bad real money per hour. On the GP leaderboard, Cannonballs come in at 3rd place, sandwiched between Zolcano and Brutal Black Dragons, with the yearly GP salary of 3.6 billion GP. Thank you for watching this video, and big thanks to all the channel supporters, including the high tier supporters Vicken, Rough Giraffes, Dakota K, Adam K, Nemo M, Brian H, Mr. Granley, Mooner Deathwatcher, Terry L, Mitchell H and Dakota P. And shout out to all the brand new channel members Kappa, SSD, Treacle Arts, Franks W, Tamashi, RS for the win, Johnny JB and Adele D.